What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Joe here with Odyssey Off-Road. Yes, I did it again. I know, another new truck. If you've been around the channel for a while, you're probably not surprised. You probably all had bets on when I was getting rid of the Jeep. But so here we are. This is a 2025 Ram 1500. It's the Bighorn level, and it's kind of like an optioned out Bighorn. So I'll kind of go over with you guys the options that it has. I don't have the window sticker right in front of me. I will put a picture of that at the end of the video. I don't have it with me at the moment because I left it at the dealer, or else I would go over it with you here. But I'll stick a photo of it here up on the screen. And so it's basically a Bighorn 4x4. Then the options on top of that would be, it has the night edition package, which is all the blacked out badges, 20-inch black wheels, and you get the limited slip rear diff, and then you also get like the black exhaust tips, stuff like that. And take a walk around and show you the front. It's all blacked out too. What's cool with the blackout here is it's a gloss black. It's really sharp looking, and you can see it's not just a, it's kind of got like a sparkle in it. I'm not sure if that's coming up on video good or not. It's hard to get that. But it's got like a sparkle in the paint on the black. And so the whole the grill surround is that glossy black. And then here it's kind of a flat black. And then the Ram is flat. Then you have more gloss here. It's a pretty optioned out Bighorn. So I'll go over that here with you in a minute after the night edition package. So also you get the black mirrors. It's also got like that kind of sparkling. You can probably see it better there. Door handles so that way too. It's sparkled black paint. It's very subtle. You got to kind of look at it close, but it gives it a nice reflection. And so then it has the trailer brake controller is an option added. It has the 33-gallon fuel tank. That's also an option added. And then it has the Hurricane 3.0 liter motor. That's an option. Standard motor would be the V6 Pentastar, which would be the same motor I had in the Jeep. Definitely wasn't going to go with that little motor on a full-size truck. And then the big package is the Level 2, the Bighorn Level 2 group, which gives you a bunch of other options. You know, you have the radar cruise. You have, there's a long list of stuff. Like I said, I'll post a picture of the window sticker here, but a lot of it's interior stuff. You get the heated seats. You get the 12-inch screen. It's got the Alpine stereo system. You get the bigger display in the center of the gauge cluster. You get the full center console with the bucket seats. A lot of goodies, a lot of useful goodies. You get the wireless charging pad, so you basically just stick your phone in it, stands up in there, and it just wirelessly charges as it's standing in there, which is nice. For me, big things I wanted. there was three things I wanted that I wasn't gonna trade the Jeep in for a full. I contemplated the last month or so trade in the Jeep in for a full-size truck again. Just simply because it's just kind of, as much as I'd rather have a mid-size truck for daily use, like day to day, every day, it's much more conducive to, you know, daily driving, a mid-size vehicle. There's too many times where I'm like, man, I really need a full-size truck right now, or could use a full-size truck right now, because the mid-size is just like either full of stuff and it's packed, not enough room, or you know, I'm towing the trailer with the toys on it, which I did like 2 weeks ago. And that's what made me think, like, man, I really need a full-size truck. Honestly, this is, it does it, but I need a little more power and a little more room, a little more towing capacity. So back seat in this thing is just gigantic, which will make it good for me at the dunes. I'm a short guy, and we actually, when we go to sand dunes, me, Larry, and Scott, we rough it. And I sleep in my back seat. Sleep in the back seat of a Gladiator this thing is gigantic. I mean, so if I'm sitting back here now, I mean, look how much leg room there is. I can almost put my legs straight. It's ridiculous amount of leg room. If you fold the seats up flat, you have a full flat floor. When my son was little, we actually camped back here, the two of us, in my last Ram. So if you fold the seat up, you see how flat it is. I have a recovery bag of stuff here, but you'll see it's totally flat, and you can pretty much make a bed here on the floor and camp out, and that's what I do. It makes it really nice. I got a bunch of stuff on the floor. That's because I just threw it in there from when I had the Jeep. I've only had this truck for, like 3 days. So put a nice coat of ceramic spray wax on it yesterday, and she's ready to go. So let me do this walk around here with you guys, show you the truck. One of the biggest changes, obviously, of 2025 Rams, probably the biggest change. There's a couple little subtle things I noticed. My brother also had a 23 Ram and like a 22. And there's a few things that I noticed that I didn't notice on previous model years. Like, it's got this extra piece here on the front bumper. It's like it's plastic that bolts the edge of your steel bumper. And I'm assuming that's just to protect the edge from paint chips and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. I don't remember this extra piece being on the bottom of the bedside, but I could be wrong. It could have been there. I think they might have changed the skirting, like the part that hangs on the lower part of the bumper from the previous models. To me, it looks a little different, but it's got the black exhaust tips, which is really nice. Like how it just says Ram right in the middle, big letters. Looks really cool. It's got the power sliding rear window. It's got LED headlights, but you don't have the and it's got LED daytime running lights, but it doesn't have like the LED strips because it's a Bighorn. But it is like a blacked out headlight with LED projector beam LEDs in there. Not projector beam, I'm sorry, like the reflector beam, I think they call it. But it is all LED. Lights are really bright at night. Fog lights too are LED. You have the front and rear sensors with the crash protection, so like it'll hit the brakes for you, which is ultra sensitive. You can change the sensitivity from low, medium, or high, and the front and the back separately, which is cool, where you can shut that off altogether. Backing out of the garage, I actually have to turn the rear sensors off because I'm so close, like backing out between my wife's truck and the sidewall in the garage. It thinks I'm going to hit something. It slams on the brakes, so I turn the switch off when I'm backing out of my garage. Did it twice to me, scared the hell out of me. So that's pretty much it. It covers it on the outside. The only thing it doesn't have was a bed. It didn't come with a bed liner, and I need all weather mats. So easy fixes. I'll probably do a Line-X spray and bed liner for the back. Might just get a rubber mat for a while, just throw it in until I get the Line-X done. And then the all-weather mats, as you've seen, it has the carpet mats right now. So that's what it came with. The all-weather mats is an option. And I actually have to go to the dealer today to pick up the window sticker because I forgot it there when I bought the truck. And so I was thinking about, I might just pick up the all-weather mats while I'm there and buy them. Interior is really ultra comfortable. It feels to me like they changed the seat a little bit and the bolstering a little bit. This thing is super comfortable. Actually, one complaint I had with the Mojave was the bolsters were so big, so deep on the seat. I'm not a tall guy, but I have like very wide like back and shoulders. And when I sat in the Mojave, I felt like the bolsters were kind of like in the back of my shoulder blades, and so it was kind of like squishing my shoulders inward, and like actually hurt my upper back after a while riding in it. The Rubicon seats, which have a little less bolstering, were actually much more comfortable. So it's got power seats, driver's side. Passenger side is not power seat. These are like I'm not going to go crazy detail because the interior hasn't changed much, 25, but that's just for your mood lighting, up and down, dim it, shut it off if you want. And that's for obviously your interior lights and stuff. Power pedals, which to me are a waste. I never use them. I always have them in the most down position. Electronic rear brake. And it's got power folding mirrors, so if I hit that, the mirrors will fold in. You'll see there. Which is nice if you're pulling in a tight spot, like pulling into your garage. Maybe it's a little tight, you got to get tight close to the wall. You can fold them in first, or if you're going through a car wash. The screen is freaking awesome. It's a lot getting used to. I had my last Ram. It's got the same system, Uconnect 5, but my last Ram, when you had the, I think it was the 10-inch screen, 10.4 or something, it just came down to like here. It worked very similarly, but there's a lot of things that it wasn't on screen that this has on screen. And this is like a tablet. You have multiple home pages. You can scroll through, set up different home pages, have widgets and all that stuff. It's pretty neat. It has onboard navigation plus your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay navigation. So you're fully covered there. You have backup system if you need one. It's got the lane keep assist. And the lane keep assist is pretty cool. It's off. I have it off typically, but I did try it. It works really well. Like you can almost take your hands off the wheels. Not that I recommend doing that, but if you happen to take your hands off the wheels to, an itch or something, it'll literally pull you into the center of the lane. Like I tried it out on the way home. Turned it on and kind of was just going straight and took my hand off the wheel like that for a second. It drifted right to about to the edge of the line of the lane and then brings you right back in the center. It's just crazy the way that works. Power sliding rear window. You can drop your tailgate, just double tap the button. And it's nice that it's double tap, so you don't hit it once by mistake, and open your tailgate while you're driving or something. You have to double tap it. Same thing on the remote for the truck. You have the remote start on there, and then the double tap drops your tailgate. It doesn't have the power up tailgate, just opens it, which is fine. The center console is tremendous. You got a 400 watt outlet there. You have a 400 watt outlet in the back seat, plus more USBs. You have 4 USBs here, 2 Cs and 2 regulars. You have a 12 volt DC up here. I have my sunglasses right there, but it has a sunglass holder right here too. I just keep them right there for quick grab. Center console, you have the top section, and then your bottom. Slide that forward. There's actually a little divider down there too, because the bottom will go all the way through to the front. So it's got a little divider here you can flip up. You flip that up, and then keeps it from your stuff from the front going to the back, and you keep your stuff separated. So that's pretty cool. It's also got, there's another outlet in here somewhere. Oh, it's the top. There's a USB in there. So like if you want to keep like a phone or your GoPros or whatever you're traveling with, you want to keep, and you want to charge them while you're driving, you can just keep it in here, plugged in, out of sight, and let it charge in the center console. So a lot of electrical outlets and charging, there's no shortage of that. You have the 400 watt outlet in the back, like I said too, so you can have like literally probably have a PlayStation going back there for the kids if you wanted. So like I was saying before, there was 3 things I really wanted. If I was going to upgrade from the Gladiator and go to a full size, I wasn't just going to do it just for a full size truck. If I was going to do it, I want it to be a truck that, I know you guys are going to laugh, but if I can keep for a long term, that is the plan. I like this truck to last and take me into, close to retirement anyway, and then maybe one more truck after that. But we'll see how it goes. But there was 3 things I would want. I missed having heated seats. Some of you might think it's crazy, like being in Arizona, needing heated seats, but it does get cold at night. And I do a lot of road trips too. So it's nice, especially when you're older like myself. You're out, my road trips are typically to go ATV riding or riding my dirt bike or something. And after a few days of riding, you're sore. So it's nice to drive home in the seat of your truck, throw the heated seats on. It's soothing for your back. Plus, too, even on a long road trip in general, I don't know about some of you, but like you're in a seat for a long time, you start getting a little stiff and locked up. You throw the heated seats on. It's a really nice feature. And these heated seats are zoned, so that's pretty cool too. When you turn the heated seat on through the screen here, there's a button up top, and I'll fire it up and show you guys. So we're on the media screen here. So if I turn the heated seat on, you have high, medium, low, level, and you also have zones. So you can have it on just the back, or just the bottom of the seat heated, or both. So it's really cool that way. If you just want to like have it on your back and you don't want it on your butt, sweating or whatever, you just have it on your back. It's pretty neat that way. I had a Chevy that was like that years ago, Trail Boss, and it did that too. Ram has apparently added that now in there. So we'll shut these off. These seats get extremely hot. If you like a good hot heated seat, I actually had to turn it down from full blast driving it home from the dealer because it's just gets that hot. So here's your home screen I was telling you about. That's the onboard nav, factory navigation, and then you know, you can have it set up however you want, and then you can set up a second screen here too, however you want it, which is pretty cool. Or a third screen or a fourth screen, kind of like your phone. You can just flip through pages. And then you have your comfort stuff here, which is quick get to your phone. Once you have that Bluetooth connected, that'll be Android Auto, and it's wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, whatever you use. Then your vehicle is a pile of stuff here, your settings and all kinds of things. Your app drawer, and then just if you want to go to the navigation screen for the onboard nav, you can have that too. So really nice, four-wheel drive auto. It's got like every new vehicle, it's got the auto stop start. I usually turn it off because I don't like it shutting on and off. To me, I don't know, I'm old school, I just don't like it. And it doesn't really save you much gas. I've used it and not used it in the past vehicles, and it doesn't really do anything. One thing I will tell you is different with having the Hurricane motor. There is no engine oil dipstick. That's something a lot of people talk about, and I'll show you guys how you check your engine oil here. And according to the engineers, you should never need to add oil as long as when you do your oil change, it is correct. So you get your engine oil life. So in your vehicle info screen, this is going to be an extra one now for level. That's full. That's how you want it. So if you get into the red, that means you're overfilling it. So kind of like on your dipstick, if you're over the hash marks on your dipstick when you change your oil, that means it's overfull. That would be the overfull. You don't want it overfull, obviously. You want it somewhere in a safe range, which is between that red line and that red line. And if you get below that if you get up to that red line, that means you're a quart low. And it holds 7.5 quarts, so you're still not technically really low, but obviously you'd want to add oil at that point. According to the engineers that designed this motor, the way this motor is built, very robust, and a lot of technologies into it to make it a long-lasting engine, they say. I guess time will tell, but you should never. This thing should consume no oil. There are a lot of other vehicles on the market with motors that consume oil throughout, in between oil changes, and you have to add oil to them. And the manufacturer considers that normal, and it is normal for them. This motor was manufactured to not use any oil, which there have been Mopar engines in the past that have used oil. We had one years ago, the 3.6 liter V6 before they came out with the. The 3.8 liter V6 before they came out with the 3.6. That thing used a ton of oil. We used to use, my wife had a Dodge Caravan years ago, and that thing used probably 1.5 quarts of oil between oil changes. So this is supposedly not need to use a drop of oil. If you get low and you have to fill it up, there's a way to reset that. So it checks it after your vehicle's been running for a while and it's up to operating temperature. You shut it down and just turn the ignition button on to run. Let it sit for 4 minutes, and it'll reread it. Like if you had to add oil, it was low, and it'll recheck it at that point. Like if you wanted to check real quick, make sure you have enough oil in it. That's the way you would do it, and then it would recalculate. The sensor would recalculate and remeasure the oil. Otherwise, it's constantly checking while you're running. And if you get to the extreme low point and you've never checked your gauge, which most people don't even check their dipsticks, a light will come on and say, "Hey, it's low oil. You need to add a quart of oil." So I think in that regard, it's pretty safe. A lot of people don't check their dipsticks. I do. I check my oil before every road trip. I'm just that way. Now you just monitor right on your screen. Downside would be if you're going to buy one of these used from private party and you wanted to pull the oil dipstick and check the condition of the oil, see if the guy's been maintaining it, changing his oil, and the oil's black and dirty. There's not going to be no way of doing that and actually touching the oil and smelling the oil and looking for stuff like that. But it's kind of it. Just kind of wanted to show you guys the truck, do a little quick walk around here, talk about this motor here for a minute. The 3.0 liter Hurricane engine is, so far really nice. So I drove it home from the dealer. You'll probably noticed on the screen it said like 16.8 mpg averaging since I got it. There's been a lot of idling time. Starting it up, I went to my brother to show him the truck. I was idling. We were fooling around with the settings on the dash. It is when you get something new, you play around with it a little bit, and you're not going to do all that stuff when you're driving, obviously. So that kind of factors in. When I drove it home from the dealer, which was up in Tucson, down to where I am here, a little south of Tucson. It's like 30-minute freeway drive. I got almost, by the time I get off the exit to my house, I got about 23 miles to the gallon. And I was going between 75 and 80 miles an hour. So it's good, you know, it's slightly better. It's a couple miles, I would say that's about 2 miles per gallon better than my Hemi was, my Hemi Ram was. My Hemi Ram had the low gear ratio too. So this has the 392 gears, which is also another option. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but that's on the window sticker, the 392 gear ratio. And that's so you can get the max towing capability. So this truck will tow 11,500 pounds, and it's got a payload rating of 1680, so almost 1,700 pounds. So more than enough for what I need to do with it. Really capable truck. And in my opinion, if you're towing, you know, 9,000-10,000 pounds on a regular, you should probably be in 3/4 ton anyway. But this, you know, you can do it with the modern half tons on occasion if you need to. Give you a look at the truck from different angles, from here in the shade rather than in the sun. When I went and picked up the truck, there was 2 exact trucks. This one, and then there was a fire red one. Right, I said to the guy, pull them, have them both out and ready. Let me look at both, because they were the exact same packages. The window sticker was literally to the penny. Identical twin trucks, different colors. So I wasn't sure which one I wanted, and I really loved both. I love the way I love it, like a really nice bright white with the blacked out everything. To me, that's really sharp looking. And then I also, that fire red though is just really nice color with the black as well. And I thought my last Ram was black. Was red with the black, and let's go with something different. The fire red was really nice though. I still was contemplating getting that, but ultimately I decided on the white. I think long term the white holds up better. If you're using it and you get a couple little scratches on it, which to me it drives me crazy, the white hides that stuff a little bit better than like a color would. It shows the scratches and stuff more. So that's why I went with the white. The white stays cleaner looking longer, even if it's like dusty and stuff. Like my Mojave was filthy before I traded it in, and it still looked pretty decent. I ran it through the car wash before I went up to the dealer, and but the white looks clean longer, and hides some scratches and defects, hides the defects a lot. So I love the black wheels. I'm not going to do anything with the wheels, in all honesty. I think in the future what I will do is maybe do like a Bilstein lift, or Mopar has a 2-inch lift for the truck. It's a Fox 2-inch lift. It comes with upper control arms and front and rear shocks, and a coil spring spacer for the rear, so you get 2 full inches, and it's like $2,200. So that might be something to grab. It's pretty something. That's something that's pretty easy if you're mechanically inclined to do in your garage, or you can have a dealer install it, and you're still under Mopar warranty, so that's nice. Another option just to kind of level it out a little bit is maybe some like Bilstein 6112s or 5100s. So we'll do something like that, and then just keep factory size tires, just to keep the fuel mileage good and the tow rating and all that stuff where I want it. I will just keep the factory size tires, but just go with some like BF Goodrich all-terrains, KO3s or something like that. These Dueler HLs, they're nice tires, and they seem to drive really nice, but they're street tires, you know. They're not, they're called all season, but they're not an all-terrain tire. I'm not going to be off-roading the truck. It's going to go down quite a few dirt roads to tow the toys to location and stuff like that, and through the sand at the dunes. But other than that, it's not going to be used for off-roading. The four-wheel drive, I could have probably gotten away with a two-wheel drive, but it's nice to have four-wheel drive because you don't know where you're going to end up going on a road trip. You go to a snowy area, you need some four-wheel drive, or you, like I said, you going down dirt roads, you're towing your ATVs and stuff, and you get into a more remote section. You need the four-wheel drive for those instances, and it's nice to have, and it's much better for resale value to have a four-wheel drive vehicle. It costs you a little bit more up front, but you get more in return on a four-wheel drive than you do a two-wheel drive truck. That's a given. It's always true. Dealer had the windows tinted. It's not ceramic tint though, and here in Arizona you do need the ceramic tint for the heat. So I'll probably get the side windows redone, and I'll get the whole truck done in ceramic tint. That's just really big help with the heat, especially with these modern full-size trucks with a gigantic front windshield. You get a lot of sun cooking in, and kind of want to alleviate a lot of that. Like any mass-produced vehicle, there are a couple little factory blemishes. My red Ram had it too. My red one actually had a bad one I didn't pick out when I brought it home from the dealer. Like right on the cowl, there was a big booger in the paint. And the only way to fix that would have been, because it was a big one, you couldn't sand it down. It was like a glob of dirt in it. Would to be to completely refinish the hood, and I wasn't gonna do that. So I just always lived with it. There's a couple tiny little dusties in this paint. Overall, I went over spray waxing it yesterday. I found this to be pretty good. There's a tiny little run in the clear all the way at the bottom here. You could barely even see it. Right there, there's a little tiny little drip at the bottom edge of the fender, right near the rocker panel. But other than that, it seems to be pretty good quality. The gloss level on these, the clear that they use, the Rams, the Mopars, I've always found to be very. It's got a deep, wet look to it. The clear must be just they use a good quality clear coat. There's going to be some imperfections, and a lot of people complain about that stuff. It's any mass-produced vehicle. You're going to have that. Doesn't matter what brand. I've had them in every vehicle I've ever owned. And but the depth and the color always looks really good. It looks wet. It looks like a deep, wet look. So I'm happy with the quality of the finish and the paint. The truck drives beautifully. Me and my wife and my son are going to go out today, run up to town. I got to go pick up the window sticker, and then I got to go run a couple errands. We're going to take the truck. And stereo system is awesome. The Alpine stereo system absolutely cranks. If you're into a nice sound, the stereo system, it's good. Obviously, Ram offers a higher end one than that, Harman Kardon one, which you can get, and that sounds amazing. It sounds sick too. But this is all you need really. The Alpine's 9 speakers with the sub, it cranks. I love it. And so that's it. That's the new truck. We're going to do a couple of things to it. Like I said, tires, maybe level it out. We'll get some all-weather mats and do the bed liner. And I think that's really it. This is going to be like my get me to my places I need to go riding with my ATVs and dirt bike. It'd be nice with the full-size truck too. With the dirt bike now, I can throw the bike in there, put it caddy corner, and close the tailgate. And I don't got to worry about the tailgate being open, a tire bouncing on the back tailgate, and putting an extra strap on it. Or the tailgate being down and taking a beating from rocks and pebbles. I can keep the tailgate up, throw my stuff in the bed, and be good to go. And feel much safer going down the road that way too. 3.0 Hurricane motor has been awesome, dude. Like the power wise, like if you were to go test drive one and nobody told you, hey, they got rid of the Hemi, and it's a straight 6-cylinder turbo, twin turbo engine, you would never know it. It's got tons of power for days. It drives beautifully. The only thing you would notice is it's ultra quiet. The motor, and it idles. Like when it's idling, like that's the thing with the straight 6s is they're perfectly naturally balanced motors, just naturally. You don't have to do a lot to get the vibrations out of the engine. They're naturally balanced, just the design of them. And so that's why a straight 6 for years and years ago was always big. They used to have straight 6, motors in trucks in the 70s. Chevy had them. They obviously weren't turbocharged, but they were robust, good, solid motors, last for years and hundreds of thousands of miles, and you don't feel them running and idling. They just idle smooth. There's not a lot of counterbalancing that needs to be done to get the motor to get the vibrations out. It's buttery smooth at idle. You don't even feel it idling, all the way up to redline, from what they say. Obviously, I haven't redlined it, but it's a brand new truck. But it runs super smooth. It's just super quiet. Out of the dual exhaust out of back, you get like a hum. You don't get that throaty cold start like you did with the Hemi when you first started it up in the morning. With this, you get a little, so it's a little getting used to. I know the purists with the V8s, and you want that V8 sound, and I'm that way too, man. I loved my Toyota Tundra with the dual exhaust with the V8, and that thing sounded amazing. And my Hemi I had, and they sound awesome. But this is right now new offerings and new times, and you got more power with this motor. It's got 420 horsepower and 459 pound-feet of torque. It's just crazy. And the torque all comes down really low. That's another nice thing with the straight 6. All the torque's low. It tows like a diesel almost, where it makes all the power, so you don't have to rev it out high. You know, it's like around 3,000 RPMs is peak torque. So if you need to an overpass or like that, it's not going to downshift and be screaming to go up something. You're going to have peak torque at like 3,000 RPM. So which is really nice. And you'll be able to just set this thing in cruise control and just go and not have to worry about it. It's got different modes too, I wanted to tell you. It's got sport mode. So you get the drive modes on a steering wheel. So you're in regular mode. They call it auto mode. I don't know why. It's not just normal. But then you have off-road mode and you have snow mode. And when you click them in, it'll change on the screen. It'll show you a truck in snow. It'll show you the truck off-roading. So you have off-road mode, snow mode, sport mode. And it's just all different tuning characteristics for the motor. And it'll also change certain characteristics with the traction control. Turn it on or off, or the aggressiveness of it, depending on what mode you put it in. So I've had it in just regular, normal, auto mode. If you flip it into snow mode, it'll automatically put the four-wheel auto on. That's one of the things it'll do. And like I said, each one has its own little characteristics. So tow haul mode, now instead of having a tow haul mode button, it's just one of the modes here. So if you scroll through it till you get tow haul mode and you leave it in. That's the other thing too. While we're on the towing thing, you can program up to 4 different trailers. So if you have multiple trailers you use, and it'll track the mileage you've pulled each trailer with, the fuel mileage you're getting with that particular trailer. It's really cool in that way, customizable. It'll auto detect because it's got the lane departure warnings system with the radars. It'll auto detect the length of your trailer and set those lane keep, the lane monitoring, like the blind spot monitoring, I should say, which is in the mirror here. Like when you're alongside somebody and that tells you, hey, there's somebody in your blind spot in the back corner of your truck or next to you, it'll automatically detect the length of your trailer and it'll set it. That'll come on when somebody's next to your trailer too. So, which is pretty cool feature. Not a lot of vehicles have that, believe it or not. To have it in a Bighorn, which is not the top grade trim for a Ram, is pretty cool. They give you a lot of bells and whistles. I looked at Chevys, GMs, Fords. I like them all. They all have pluses and minuses. I think I just got way more for my money with the Ram. Even with the high sticker price, the rebates right now, you know, Fiat's going through a little bit of a restructuring. Not Fiat, I should say Stellantis is going through a little bit of a restructuring. And so they're giving huge rebates, plus the dealer has them discounted. This truck was discounted $16,000. So that's kind of how I was able to do the deal. Obviously, I was going to lose a little bit on the Gladiator, but it's more than made up for that. And so basically, you know, swap trucks and basically swap payment. And I got this. I got all this truck instead of the Gladiator. To me, it was a no-brainer. I got more for my money, more bang for my buck here. And I won't have, this will do anything I need it to do. It is a bummer driving it around every day in and out of parking lots and just running around and running errands with a full-size truck. The mid-size truck is nicer for that. But there's just all too many times that, and over the last year, that I'm like, I could really miss having a full-size truck. And I missed heated seats too. So when I said I want to get a full-size truck, I wanted to do heated seats, trailer brake controller, and the better stereo system. Those were the 3 things I wanted. Everything else was gravy, and that's what I got. I didn't care if it had the 12-inch screen. Honestly, it was actually a surprise to me that it did in the Bighorn. So I would have been happy with the 10.5-inch screen. But that's it, guys. I'll quit rambling. Cut you guys loose. I appreciate you watching, clicking on the video. Thanks for sticking around and supporting me. If you were here purely for the Jeep content, which I don't know why you'd be on my channel just for the Jeep content, because that was kind of far few and in between. I did do some Jeep stuff, but it's a lot of ATVs and dirt bikes. I appreciate, if you don't want to stick around, I get it, if you're going to bail. But if you do want to stick around, I appreciate you guys. If you did like the video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And this is Joe with Odyssey Off-Road. We'll catch you guys out on the next one. If you got any questions about the vehicle, anything you want to know I didn't cover here, I could do a follow-up video, or you guys can leave a comment and ask questions. I try to answer everybody. So we'll catch you guys out on the next one. Peace out.